two, one, two, three. Well, I found out long ago. Whoa, it's a long way down the holiday road. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Whoa, we'll take a ride on a West Coast kick. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa, holiday long ago. Whoa, it's a long way down that holiday road. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa, holiday road. Whoa, holiday road.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the host of the show, it's your two-time Residents Club of Choice Award winner. It's Mr. Pete Van Dyke. I can't believe I fucked that up.
Hey, you've butchered the name of my award, my friend. Jordan Gortfa on background vocals, cameras, and announcer duties tonight. Let's hear it for Jordan Gortfa. You know what else we should hear it for? You guys ready to go back into the jam? We should hear it for the greatest band in Canadian late night history, the Nocturnal Emissions. Join us tonight, playing a little Holiday Road. We have on vocals and rhythm, Dave the Rooster Charters. In the corner, smiling and playing the skins. That's the French tickler, Kev Belonga, everybody. And on bass, the multi-talented balls of the Nocturnal Emissions tonight, Brandon McIntosh, everyone. Listen to the applause at home, Brandon. They love you at home. And on lead guitar, everyone in the corner, Steve the Reluctant German. And we're going bartenderless tonight. Hopefully, maybe we can add another hat to Jordan. I'm Pete Van Dyke. Let's get this show started. All right. Bang. That's it. Excellent job, guys.
That's how you do it.
Thank you.
Hey, it was a big kerfuffle today on what song to play. As people may or may not know, the Nocturnal Emissions do not know what song they're going to play on the morning of show day. They wake up not knowing what song they're going to play. And sometimes they actually arrive at the church not knowing what song they're going to play. And
Just as an idea, I still don't know what song we just played.
see, Kev still doesn't even know. You ever see the movie Vacation, Kev?
No.
With Chevy Chase?
Christmas Vacation?
No, well, it was the one before that. There was
No,
like
I've
the
only
original.
I only know Christmas Vacation very well.
Because Kev's young.
Oh yeah, that's required viewing, Kevin. You got to watch Vacation.
You should go original Vacation. And I'll tell you why. Because you see, what's her name?
Beverly
Beverly
D'Angelo's,
D'Angelo's big tits in the shower. She's the mom in it. And Chevy Chase pretends to do the scene from Psycho, and he pulls the shower curtain, he's holding a banana, and then she's like, oh, Clark, with her huge full tits out.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
like 10 minutes into the movie, too.
Yeah.
That's like real cool.
It's a family movie with tits in it, and they don't make anymore.
It's amazing. And then he says, "Can I do your back?" And she says, "I've already done my back." And he says, "Can I do your front?" And she says, "Go do your own front."
Yeah. Remember when Chevy Chase, he in that same movie, he gets into an argument with his wife, I believe, and then he's like, "Well, screw it, I'm gonna fuck Christy Brinkley then." Do you remember that?
I like the cut of her bathing suit, her one piece.
And he seemed kind of justified because he's like, "Me and my wife had a little bit of an off night. I'm gonna go fuck that girl at the pool," right? Also in a family movie.
It was in my imagination.
Huh? No. Remember in the movie, he sees her in the car.
Yeah.
And then he sees her at the pool again, and then he ends up skinny dipping with her, and then he gets caught in the
Oh,
pool
yeah,
naked
he
with
really does.
with Christy Brinkley. He gets caught.
It's Christmas Vacation where he's daydreaming about her,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
about the girl in the mall.
Yes.
In his
Trying
he's
on.
pretending he has a pool. Yeah.
Anyways, Charters, you went on
Chevy.
vacation, right? This is the peak time of summer vacations, right? We're in the heat of summer, the dog days of summer, right?
Yeah.
This is when you go travel, see the world. This is when everybody's buzzing around on the roads and
Yeah.
such, right? Charters,
Yeah.
you and me, you and me are similar age, right?
Yeah.
Similar interests.
I would say so.
Similar financial means, would you say? Whatever
I
you
would
can
say.
do, I can do, vice versa.
Seems accurate.
You're no fucking better than me, Charles. I'll tell you that right now. I don't care how much a master industry you are. I'll figure it out. I'll go. But I'll tell you, we both chose different vacations for
fuck,
for
did
our
we ever.
families, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
And I was hoping that on today's show, we could discuss our vacations. Is that okay?
It's fine with me.
But before we do that, I would like to discuss something, or I'd like to really discuss something with Brandon McIntosh. Because Brandon McIntosh, I don't know if people know this, he's been on our program many times. He's a world-renowned reality show actor. And
It was all me. It was all me.
It was all Brandon McIntosh? It's
No
all-
actor there.
What? There's no actor.
All the awkwardness was me.
Oh, really? Oh, that's,
play
you didn't
it
even like
straight
play it up a bit? That was really you?
Sure. Yeah. Mostly.
But you didn't show everything, I imagine, right?
No.
Dirty stuff?
No, they didn't catch me.
Anyways, you also are an amateur conspiracy theorist.
I wouldn't say amateur.
Professional?
Not there either.
Semi-pro.
Novice.
Novice. A novice one?
That's somewhere in the middle.
Okay, no, perfect.
Like I've loved it since I was a kid. Does that count? Just like
If you
years
hear
of-
somebody
years.
cooking up a story about someone that's up to something that there's backwards whatever into it,
Yeah.
you are in. You
I'm
want
the
to
guy-
hear
I'm
what
the
they
guy
have to
talk
say.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you a question. First, before we get into today's big news, I would like to ask you a question about Denver, because on my trip, we flew from Detroit to Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Denver Airport there, got there, and you said, you and Steve both, right? Said
Yeah,
to me
it's a creepy airport.
that's got a lot of stories in that airport.
Did
and
you land at that one? There's 2 airports there.
Well, I went to the one that had the big blue horse with the red eyes.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Oh, yeah?
That's the scary one. It has all like these bizarre portraits of like the apocalypse.
Is that...
It's super weird. It has bizarre architecture and just like weird little hidden things in the tiles, and it's there's no point to it.
it's
Besides Illuminati, that's exactly what it is. There's underground bases. There's all these like structures built, and they just built the airport right on top of it.
Yeah, I was right there. It is really like a big livestock barn. Is what it kind of is.
Yeah.
They even have chutes where they like take people when they're in a big crowd, and then they funnel you into like single file just by making it more narrow. You know, like you do with cows. You know what I mean? They had that in the Denver airport.
They have a lot of Chinese tourists, or what?
No. I didn't see many. But I don't see race, like you, Brandon.
Racist.
I just saw people.
I travel on. It's true.
But today's conspiracy is one that's it may be more important because there's all the rage going on Facebook right now. Is this app which will allow you to age, or can you make your face younger as well?
I think so.
So everyone's using it. It's like the thing that everyone's going crazy about today, and then we'll forget about tomorrow. But the thing about this one is, Brandon told me the Russians are behind it.
Yep.
And Brandon, you can correct me or just let me go off on my limited knowledge of what you told me earlier, and I can just tell the people at home the Dutch Hall version of it.
So I'm going to tell you, and then you're just going to repeat what I said?
You can correct me when I say it wrong.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Is that okay?
Go for it.
This is what my friend Brandon told me
That's what
today.
I told you
It's what you told me.
like 20 minutes ago, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You told me 20 minutes ago that the fucking Russians are up to it, Dave, because they're really into rigging elections. They don't like you choosing your own leader that doesn't suit the Russians, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to make you get all hooked on this fucking app because you're like, what am I going to look like when I'm old? News alert, worse. It's going to not be, bald. You would be like dirt. Because let's face it,
Pile of dirt.
just a pile of dirt. Because they're like, you're not going to make it past like 50, with unless you make some changes, Dave, some real changes. You consider it? Is there any way you can change your microphone so we can look at each other when we talk? Because we're going to have to talk on vacation. Like, what if we pick the whole thing up or is it? Or can you take it off the thing? I'd love to see you, Dave. Your face is. Okay, fine.
I'll
Don't-
just turn like this.
You will? You look so uncomfortable, though. That's not how we have a conversation about trips and shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Russians, they're going to say, you're so addicted to
sit on
this,
the couch, Dave.
this app, you're not going to notice they're digging in all your files that you keep online, like your porno files and stuff. And then they're going to know which way you vote because of your porno, and then they're going to start sending you things that's going to make you want to vote differently. Is that right?
It's close. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Now
Maybe
you can
the porn's
explain.
involved. Who knows? Maybe they have scientists working on that, like figure out what people's porn appetites are and figure out who they are as a person, figure out who they can vote for. I don't
But-
know. That's
'cause
not
I
a real
don't-
theory at all. I just.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know what else is on the internet. Dave's.
But no, it's true. Like I don't know why they're hacking the data. They're doing it all again. and letting
Yeah, they'll do
happen.
it for us too, though, right? We think it's the Americans, but they'll do it for the Canadian election
Plus, they have
too.
all these pictures of us now, and like what we look like when we're old, and like when the revolution starts and the world falls apart, and they're just like hunting us down. They'll know what we look like in like 30 years, and we're like leading revolutions and stuff, and, like because you don't know who's gonna do it. Could be Kev here. Kev's
I look cool. I like mine.
yeah. You got the hair going already too.
Yeah.
You got the
Oh, the hair's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
It actually took the hair away in the app.
this crossing.
Made me bald.
They got Kev's information now. His vote is tainted, man.
Just
know.
one picture of me.
Do you know who
With
you're
a
voting
certain
for
face.
right now, Kev?
No,
You don't know who you're voting for right now?
no,
Damn
probably
it. You know-
nobody.
Okay, this is what we got to do, Kev. Maybe not during the show, but sometime soon, me and you guys sit down. I'll go through the candidates, give you like just an honest review of each of the candidates, not tainted by those fucking Russians before they get a hold of you, because they got your data now. So you did it. You look like your dad when you get old. You happy? Now the Russians are going to fuck with your whole thinking unless you stick with me, buddy, because they're going to mess with you, right? Right, Brandon?
Yeah.
They're going to mess with Kev. So we have a real test tube guy who did the app. So now we know he's going to get messed with by the Russians. I'll get a baseline at the beginning, see who he kind of would vote for, and then we'll see what the Russians do to him.
Yeah.
Follow it
I
on
like
the show.
It's a good experiment.
Yeah.
Cool
Interesting.
game.
Huh?
Cool game. Let's play.
Yeah. It's all going to be Kevin's mind, but we have to get a baseline for you. So we're going to teach you about politics. It's all bad, buddy.
Yeah.
They're all yucky. I can't think of a good one. Can you, Dave?
No, I don't even know who they are.
Your own candidates for your own country for the elections in October?
No.
Oh, that's sad, eh? You don't know who a bunch of egotistical bullshit politician fuckbags
I'm
are?
guessing the guy that's in there now is running
Yeah.
again.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
that guy,
Justin?
Justin. It's Ralph Kuberman. He's like the PCP party.
Ralph Kuberman.
Ralph Kuberman.
I think that's wrong. I'm pretty sure we're not voting for Ralph Kuberman again. You only do that once. That guy's name's something different. He looks like a child, but he's about 40, right? The conservative guy.
Yeah.
Is it Andrew Scheer.
Andrew. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
sure. I've seen his name a lot in the headlines.
Yeah. They like to say he is. What do they say about him? That he's just he's not ready, or he's like he doesn't know what he's doing. And then but now with Trudeau, they just say like this guy's fucked everything up, right? That's what they're saying in their ad. Same people from the first time, you know.
Yeah.
They see him and they're back in the ads again, and now they're like, hey, he's still got great hair, but he's fucked everything up, right?
Yeah. Did you hear him mess up that question when they asked him about how do you reduce plastic with your family? He's just like, well, we do. We got we have bottles that are like plastic and but reusable. We like the glass. Like we refill the water, and he's just like tripping over this simple answer.
He doesn't have no idea how people live,
He's like,
right?
"Oh, shit."
He's like, I want to pretend I live like regular people, but I've never actually done it before.
They're gonna find my cases of water.
Yeah.
The voters are gonna know.
You know what I'd like to vote for is that really frustrated Elizabeth May from the Green Party. Have you ever seen her? She keeps getting one seat every time, and then she's the only one that really like makes sense. That's doing it for their like some things that she believes in or whatever. So like she keeps going, what are you fucking guys talking about? You know, you guys are all idiots, you know. And then so I would like her to win, but I mean, it would be her and a bunch of loonies that run for the Green Party, right? Because she's got to get one in every place.
Yeah.
So that you got to go, who wants to run for a party that's got no chance of winning? And it'll be like, you get some real crackpots, eh?
Yeah.
That run for that. And then with one year, everybody just protests, and then you get them all in. Like, remember, like last time, there was a whole bunch of young people from Quebec who won NDP. And then there was like a bunch of people who never worked in politics before, but they were NDP, like a bunch of like 20-something-year-old people. Do you remember that?
And they won?
Yeah, they won last election. They're still there now working and stuff. But they're just like kids. They don't know fuck all. You don't know that? Jeez, you should pay attention to your own politics, Dave.
What's the
guess
proper age for politics? Because there's too many like super old people. I'm like, what the hell is Bernie Sanders like running? Like every time I see him, it looks like he's on his last breath and just.
I like
he looks
that.
like that Pope. I forget John Paul. He just kind of hunched over all the time, like, it's like speaking in Italian or whatever the Pope spoke.
I think the perfect age for a politician would be 45. That's what I'd say.
Like us.
Like us. Halfway. Because you're still in the game, but you've played enough of the game to know how it works, you know? But you're not like so back. You got a foot in both camps, you know?
Yeah.
You know how the old fashioned shit, why those people still want to do that crap, but you also get the new way that the young people are doing, right? That's why I think 45. And you get too old, you get too fixed in your ways, you don't care about change enough. Your brain's not mushy enough. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed to be in politics anymore.
At
Put you out to
45,
pasture.
at 45, you're starting to lose your senses, but not too bad. You know.
45, yeah, exactly. You're losing your senses enough to run for government.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're in your 20s and you're trying to run for office or something like that, you think a lot of yourself. You think a whole lot of yourself, right? If you're in your 40s and you run for office, you still fucking think a lot of yourself, right? You think you can control whole cities and shit? Or a country? Like, you got to be crazy to think that. How about the Pope? Think you're the Pope? Crazy. Some guy thinks he's going to be Pope. Like Francis, you think he tried to be Pope?
They get voted in, right, or something?
Yeah. Do you think he campaigned for it?
I don't know how it works.
No.
Yeah. You think he like?
You got to rise to the level of
He can't piss
cardinal,
the
right?
wrong people off. Yeah. He had to somehow go up through the politics of the Catholic Church,
For sure.
right? So he's a bit of a player.
Then
He's
you-
got a bit of a hustle to him, I bet.
And it's a unanimous vote, so you got to have.
Yeah. White smoke, baby.
You can't have one guy that just really hates your guts.
No, that's what I mean. That's why that German guy, I don't know how the hell he got in. You know what he was? Sacrificial lamb. That one German with the red shoes that quit. You know the last one? Benedict, he's still alive. A still alive former pope. Have you ever heard of such a thing, Dave? You're supposed to die on that fucking chair.
Hey, job's not for everybody, right?
Wow. I've never heard of a pope quit before. Right. You're Catholic and you don't have a problem with the pope quitting?
I don't know. If it
You like
wasn't-
the new one better?
If it wasn't for him, I don't really know him.
This is what I think.
Never met him.
This is what I think. This is what I think they gave you the German, right? Everybody has Pope John Paul, right? They love him. He's like beloved
It's Polish.
because he's Polish,
Yeah,
right?
makes perfect sense.
Everybody wants to feel like they're smarter than the Pope, right? And so they love the Polish Pope. And then he got to go gross at the end, but people forget when he was young, he was canoeing and stuff, and he was cool as shit, that Pope.
Took a bullet.
Yeah, he got
Come on.
shot. Remember when the Pope got shot? That was a cool Pope. Everyone loved that guy. But at the end, he was just gross, and everyone's fucking kids, and he's just going, I can't move, you
Is that
know?
why they put a big fish tank on his truck or what?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Pope,
So they
the
did
Pope Mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
After
Pope
the
Mobile
first
was
bullet.
after he got shot. He had
Bulletproof?
To go, yeah, bulletproof Pope Mobile.
I want to
Yeah.
see that in action. Someone try again.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm not saying he's gonna die. He's got the glass.
There's no point.
Yeah, I just want to shoot at it when he goes by. Hey, he's in the Pope Mobile, right? Can I shoot at it then? Because it's bulletproof, right? Just every time he goes on tour somewhere, people are just firing guns at him. Poof, poof.
So cool.
I would go to that parade if they said, "Hey, the Pope's going to be at a parade. You're allowed to bring your firearms and just shoot at the Pope." I'd be like, "I like the Pope and everything, but that's fucking going to be fun." I'm definitely going to that parade, right? If it was in Burford, would you go?
I don't know. What about the ricochets? Wouldn't you be worried about getting hit?
Dave, it's in Burford. Like, it's so convenient. You got to take the risk. You can. It's fun though. You got to admit
Probably
it's
go.
fun, right?
There would be a certain element of fun.
Right. So put on your other. No, you have to take on. You think of the safety of your children and your employees and what do you call them? Your underlings or whatever. Your peons. What are they called? No?
People?
Oh yeah, people. That's what it was actually. Anyways, you say you worry about that. Fuck that. Just think about Dave Charters, the Rooster. You're trying to have some fun, right?
Just pot shots.
They say you can go out and fire at the Pope, the pistol in like Maple Ave in Burford. Just fucking fire away. It's bulletproof.
He just takes it. He sits there, just
Yeah.
like doesn't even flinch.
And you're going, and you say, what about the ricochets? And they say, I don't give a fuck about the ricochets. Just have a good time, Charters. Now what do?
I'd probably go out of town for the weekend.
What?
I have
You
no
go
in-
out of town?
I have no interest in that.
You just said it would be fun.
Yeah, but now I thought about it. I don't like guns.
A 22. It doesn't even like have any kickback. You just take like a 22 and fire it at the Pope. Come on, that's fun. I can't believe it. You know, any Catholic would do that. I bet you if even got the priest, Father Allen here, asked him if he'd fire at the Pope, if he'd let you, just to check out the bulletproof glass. I don't care who's in there. You can put anyone in there. Just fire it at somebody, you know? No one see if the glass works. Put in a pumpkin Pope, like not the real Pope, but like this is the first try, just to make you feel happy. So they'll put in like a pumpkin head Pope, and they'll run it through Maple Ave, and just like you, they'll clear everyone away. You can fire it at the bubble. Now will you do it?
Probably not.
Why? You're not gonna get killed. The chances of you getting killed be slim, man. Man, you're a pussy. No wonder your vacation sucks so bad. Okay. We have to get to a segment of this show we call feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Feedback. This week's segment is brought to you, as always, by our friends at Amazon. If my wife could get me a drink of some sort of beverage
I'll
to
take
wet
one,
my
too.
whistle, and if anyone else would, maybe could you,
Have a cross,
if
yeah.
you mind, if you don't mind, it'd be fantastic. And also, if you're doing Amazon shopping, go to the website, livefromthedutchhall.com, click on the Amazon banners. If you don't see them, shut off your ad blockers, then you do your shopping, then we get a little bit of money. And you know what we do with the money? We spend it stupidly so that we can do this sort of stuff. So let us please keep doing it. It's fun. And then also, Norpac.
Up, beef people.
Oh, Steve stepped up, Dave. You know what he did? You tried doing it. Kevin moved towards the mic. Steve went into action immediately. I saw.
Done.
Yeah, what I did see was a whole team stepping up. I really wanted Jordan to do that the whole time, and I am disappointed in him. I just want you to know that. Jordan.
Apparently, his 4 jobs are like.
Yeah,
keeping
he's
him
not.
too
He doesn't have
busy.
enough jobs. I really don't like how this guy seems to be slacking most of the time. The cameraman, hey?
He didn't even get beers.
No, Jason, that. I was trying to get. Now I have to hire my own wife to be the beer getter because he can't back up, sing, announce, and camera.
Fuck my life.
Jordan. Anyways, Yarmy Electric, please still, it's hot, it's summer. Some people like to spend time with their families, and they don't give a shit that you think your house is dangerously close to burning down because of electrical issues. Please let my cousin Derek go on with his life, and don't call him about your problems. Yarmy Electric, if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time. If we don't get it right the second time,
You can go fuck yourself.
brought to you by Clean Flow, Tickler. And that is it for our sponsors. But we still have to get into our feedback. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to save my favorite for a last today because she really enjoyed last week's program.
Oh, good.
And I want to feature that. But we're going to start in by checking with the Cheese Lady. Let's check on her, Dave. Do you have this?
Checking on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, always on the run. Checking on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, wonder what she's done. Checking on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady, she likes to have fun. Checking on the cheese lady, checking on the cheese lady.
Yay.
I love your cheese, Teresa. I love your cheese.
Look at this.
Hey, that's
Beverages all around, the greatest show.
Thank you. Beer in a bowl.
Whoa, a stiff one too. Teresa from the Second Mouse, she gives us feedback on a. She goes on Podbean there. She listens in her shop when she's cutting the cheese on Friday mornings usually. But sometimes it takes her a bit to get. And you know what? A couple weeks ago, no feedback.
Wow.
Wow.
80s feedback.
Yeah. And then it said, she said, hashtag listening in Delhi, I need to go back and watch last week's show. Holiday weekends tend to be busy, but I'll double watch today. And then she says, love the game show episodes, hashtag small town love. And if you go to a Second Mouse and you mention the Dutch Hall, you'll never have to worry about that beer getting to be the same temperature as your hand because you'll have a nice koozie put between you and
if
the
you're
beer.
lucky, maybe some ground cheese.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Ground cheese is hard to come by, you know, because they have a really good employee. My niece is working there now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not even my niece, but my goddaughter. She's my goddaughter. So that's even more important than a niece.
Bet you she wouldn't shoot at the Pope.
Yes, she would.
Sure she would.
She's my goddaughter. I raised her in my spiritual image, right? She believes my view of the world spiritually because I've been guiding her since I became her godfather. I take it seriously, my job. I don't know. Are you a godfather to anyone?
Yeah. We got a couple of godchildren.
And do you give them spiritual guidance?
Absolutely.
Well, then you know what I'm talking about. So you give them your shitty spiritual guidance, and I give them mine.
Yeah, don't shoot at the Pope. That's my main
And
message.
mine shoot at the Pope because it's bulletproof. It's fucking bulletproof.
You're like the quality control department of the Pope Mobile.
Yeah. I was like, once you prove it's bulletproof, let them shoot at the Pope.
You gotta test that thing. What if it stops working one day? Don't you want to find that out?
Yeah. You say, hey, man, what is that, a chink in the bubble?
It's,
You can't?
no, he's Polish.
That is awful, Dave. That is so awful. You know what I was talking about? Like a...
Can't believe you said that.
Come on. So, that's it for the cheese lady. But you know what? You know what?
What?
Cookie lady. We need to go see our cookie lady because she's my favorite, and we're gonna because of last week's episode. She had a lot to say.
Susie, Susie, we really love your cookies, love your cookies. Susie, they taste so good and the meringue's pretty good too. Susie, those Oreos you made were the best thing I've ever tasted. Susie.
And those other ones are pretty good too. Susie.
We love you, Susie.
Susan B is not only one of our greatest fans, she's dedicated, usually the first person to watch on YouTube Live, very critical when we do not feature her son enough, and she has good reason to. He's a very talented young man, right? But not as talented as his mother at making delicious cookies.
That's right.
And this week, we went to one of the classics. We went to chocolate chip. They're so fresh. It's almost like you're like, it tastes almost like it's just, you're eating the dough itself. It's so good. You know what I mean? Oh, man. So good, as a matter of fact, you're not getting none of them. They're all upstairs. Kept away from you. I kept them right off the air this time. Guess who had about 4 of them this morning, pretending and then pretending to forget them upstairs? Yeah, this guy, me. They're delicious, Dave. But if you ask, we got a lot of treats for after the show. We'll give a Susan B cookie, and we will also give you Ada. You know Ada.
Yeah, do I ever?
Yeah, he's back there cooking his brain, so he's gonna be cooking us a nice Turkish treat.
I had a sneak peek in there, and I'll tell you, it smells delicious. He's working hard.
Yeah, Steve has been lucky enough to be brother-in-laws with Ada, right?
Yep.
Because Ada couldn't choose his family. He has to just take what he gets, right?
That's correct.
And so, and you get to eat this all the time, and you've been rubbing it in my face, right?
So good.
Now, and I just put it out there. He says he's coming tonight. He's going to come to the show. I said, can he? I'll get him whatever he needs to make this stuff, but I want to try it. He, out of the kindness of his heart, came and he's going to cook for you tonight, Dave. You get to eat it too.
I'm super excited. I didn't even eat supper.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even tell you about this till now.
I know.
Oh, well, that has
Perfect.
worked out perfect.
Perfect.
All right, well, you know what she said about last week's show, Susan B?
What?
She almost fell off her chair during the Tyler Shazma segment. And she said, greatest show ever. Is what
Ever.
She said. That is the best Dutch Hall ever, in Susan B's opinion.
Last week.
Last week's episode. And you know what? She wasn't the only one. There was a number of people who are very adamant. Even Bailey Adcock had said that she wants to be on the next show because she thought you guys all sucked and that she could beat any one of you, including Wes, our champion.
Oh, yeah.
So there is an appetite from the public to now challenge the nocturnal emissions at these games. So I don't know. We may go back to Name That Tune. It was a popular episode.
I know when I was listening in my car, I was yelling at my radio, like, are you guys fucking stupid? You don't know this one? Come
Oh,
on.
yeah, you weren't here.
No, I wasn't here.
Yeah, you think you would have done good at that?
That's why I can't really believe it was like someone's favorite episode.
Why?
Ever.
Because you weren't on
I
it?
wasn't here.
That's funny, because people hate you.
I got it backwards.
How many people, do you think there are people that like you? There's people that defend you all the time online. They think I'm too tough on you.
Why don't you ever talk about that?
I've said it before. I've said it. I'm saying it right now. And then there's also people that they just think that's terrific, eh? That they think you're just a piece of garbage. They want to just like add to the beating, you know? Those people are my favorite. They like to have a good time, you know? We like to have a good time the same way.
Yeah, they'd probably shoot at the Pope too.
Yeah. Who wouldn't shoot the fucking Pope? Jesus, man. It's bulletproof. I told you it's bulletproof. I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't want to kill the Pope. I told you that. I said, is it bulletproof? Yes.
Just
Can I
picture
shoot
you
at the
trying
Pope?
to reason with his security guards.
It's bulletproof. It's bulletproof. I told you. I asked. I looked it up. I Googled it right before I shot him. I said, yeah, it's bulletproof. It would be fun, though. You got to admit. But anyways, if you'd like to give us feedback in the future, you can go to livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com. Give us an email if people still do that. Or you can give us just a direct message on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. We're live from the Dutch Hall. We're at Dutch Hall and all those things. And I should tell you about some upcoming events we have. One is next Thursday, very next week. We have, if you are a shareholder especially, or anyone that is a fan of this program, you will have the exclusive opportunity to come to a live taping of another podcast that we are having the fortunate chance to record here at Spiky Ball Studios called Fight Stories with Tyler Morrison and John Moses. And they will be coming here to Delhi to interview a former guest of Live from the Dutch Hall, Ryan Vandenbush, talking about his illustrious fight career. And these two, Tyler Morrison, he headlined one of our shows here at Spiky Ball Studios I don't think it was in June. And Tyler is actually a huge Ryan Vandenbush fan.
Oh.
Yeah, and because Ryan's my brother-in-law, I find that to be hilarious, right? Because I'm like you. Why would you be a fan of that guy? You know, he like he's at dinner all the time. You know, like with stuff in his teeth. You know what I mean? Like you know him too well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as it turns out, even me, I forget. I go online sometimes, look at the guy. He's beating these huge giants up. You know, and he's just this little guy.
It's true.
So it is pretty cool what he did. They're going to be here. So if you're a hockey fan or you have hockey fans and you are a fan of this program, give us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com or spikyballstudios@gmail.com, and we'll set you, friends, or whoever up with passes to come see a live taping of Fight Stories here at Spiky Ball. And if you'd like to, you can stay after the show and stay for a live taping of Live from the Dutch Hall, which we're doing right after that.
Just makes sense.
So let us know, and we'll be sending around some stuff on the socials to remind you of that, and some direct messages to our shareholders. And if you'd like to become a shareholder too, let us know. You say, why am I getting these messages? Well, you're not a shareholder. If you want to find out how, send us a message and we'll tell you how. You really just got to give us something, right? Cheddar. It could be legitimate cheddar. It could also be cookies, as Susan B. did.
A Turkish meal.
We have a Turkish meal. We've gotten booze of many different kinds of booze in the past. What else have we gotten?
A cake?
A cake? Remember we got a cake? A chocolate cake. That was weird, eh? He was in a dark place then,
That
he
was
said.
kind of weird.
Yeah, he said he was in a dark place. He showed up with a cake, eh? It's like, oh. Yeah, beer and cake. So, they're not all winners, Dave. They're not all winners. Anyways, you become a shareholder, come see the show. That's Fight Stories next week. I'm pretty excited about it, so we're going to big push to make that a success. Now let's talk about vacations. Vacations. Now, charters, I already mentioned I went on my vacation to Denver. No, I didn't. I went to Colorado. I went to Aspen, right? That's where we went. We flew to Denver, and then we rented a car, and we went to
You
Aspen.
got the hell out of Denver.
Yeah, Denver's a city. It's a shithole. You know, there's nothing good in a city as far as I'm concerned. But in the country, I like it. The little small towns.
Right in
But
the
it's not-
Rockies, eh?
Right in the
Heart of the Rockies?
Yeah, we crossed that. We went up this road. It's not even open in the wintertime. It's only open from May till September. That's it, because of the snow. And then we went up that road, and you're going, and it's like you're kind of running up the mountain, like snaking up the mountain, you know, like going around the bend, you know. And there's one guy in a fucking RV. Sometimes it's only one lane, and there's cars both ways. And then all of a sudden, you get to the top, and you're at the top, and there's like a parking lot up there, and you get out and you walk, and it says that you're at the Continental Divide. Like one way it goes to the Pacific, and the other way goes to the Atlantic. You know, you're at the top of the Rocky Mountains. Like all the mountains are like below you. You know, like 12,000 feet in the air. It's fantastic. Where'd you go for your vacation?
Well, I went to I was going to say the county divide, but I was actually past the county divide all the way into Haldeman County. You ever been there?
Really? You decided to go on a family vacation to Haldeman County. Really?
Yeah.
What part of Haldeman County did you go to?
Well, I would consider it the greater Selkirk area.
Oh, the GSA?
Yeah, we were a little closer to Selkirk than we were to Dunnville. You ever been to Dunnville? They got a giant fucking catfish sculpture in Dunnville. It's like a big landmark there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Dunnville, done shows in Dunnville.
Dunnville's a lot nicer than where we were.
Dunnville's a step up. Did you guys go into Dunnville, so that you go to the big city to live it up when you were in Selkirk?
The one night we had to Jonah had to stay up all night, so we actually drove through Dunnville on the way to we went to the drive-in movie the one night to Niagara Falls, so we had to get out of there. It was a fucking terrible place.
So you honestly on purpose went to to Selkirk and by the way, if you're from Halton County and you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but your county sucks. It's the worst county. It's the armpit of Ontario for sure. Like that heavy clay, you can't do nothing with that crap.
Even the sand on the beach was heavy.
Yeah, it's just like you go to play on the beach and your feet stick into the sand. You know.
Honestly, the area. So we rented a cottage there, and it's not normally we like to go the other way to Long Point, which is beautiful out there at Long Point.
Oh yeah,
on
Long
the
Point's
lakeside.
lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, nice beach. Cottages are nice.
Oh, it goes forever, that beach, doesn't it?
Couldn't get a place in Long Point, so we were kind of scrambling, and we found this place on some weird website, cottagelife.com. Don't ever go there. And we're looking for a place that sleeps 12 because it was our family and my sister-in-law's family. And this place slept 12. The pictures were fuzzy. That should have been my first clue on the website. None of them were really in focus.
Yeah.
But it looked like a big place, nice windows facing the lake. And I gotta be fair to all the other cottagers around that area because it's not a town, but it's like a cottage community there. There's a lot of nice, well-kept places. But this place we rented was a fucking shithole. That's the only way I can describe it. It was like...
Get a good deal?
It was like a haunted house almost.
Oh, really?
No, the deal wasn't even that great. It was terrible. It was like no one had been there in 5 years. Like the amount of cobwebs on every surface when you went in and the grime everywhere.
You mean they might have trouble renting a cottage in Selkirk? What's the beach like?
The beach wasn't that good.
Did it have sand?
It had sand. It was a stretch of sandy beach, and it was. We had it mostly to ourselves for the week. On the weekend there was more
really
people there, but
it wasn't like crowded in Selkirk.
Surprisingly, I couldn't believe this actually because the beach is supposed to be private for like the cottagers, and we got there and we're like, well, of course it's private. Who the fuck would ever drive here to use this beach, right?
Right.
But almost every night, people would drive up and park on the road, and there's signs everywhere, no parking, and people put flower pots out like to keep people from parking, but they would park, and I don't know where they're coming from, maybe from Selkirk, maybe from Dunnville, but I guess it's a popular little stretch of beach there.
Well, yeah, you have to understand, if you live in Halton County, most of the other county is so wretched that the stuff that you were looking at was like paradise for a lot of these people, these clay dwellers, eh? In Haldeman?
A lot of dead fish.
A lot of dead fish. You know what those fish died of? They gave up hope, right? Once they swam into Haldeman County, they just like fucking quit.
What have we done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
The good part was we didn't spend a lot of time in the cottage, so we were outside. Like we brought our bikes. It's a beautiful road there. Lakeshore goes forever in both directions, Lakeshore Road. So it's a nice bike ride there. We went on a couple long bike rides and spent a lot of outside time, but man.
Was your wife and sister-in-law happy with the accommodations?
Well, I showed up there and there was a list from the owner of the cottage with my name on the top, and there was 12 items on the list it was like a to-do list. Like put chemicals in this tank in the basement and fix this stool and if you want to trim the hedges and this is fucking crazy. Yeah, if you want to trim the hedges. So there's like a deck out front, and then the deck goes around the side of the cottage, and that's how you get to the back of the cottage. But the bushes there were so overgrown, they were touching the cottage. You couldn't walk down there without them hitting you in the face. And the morning after we got there, Teresa was walking down there. She goes in the house and she's got a tick on her from this fucking bush, right? So she got the clippers out, which are stored in the corner of the living room of the cottage, because that's where you keep your hedge clippers.
Yeah, of course.
And she went to work for the morning and just clipped the hedge right back.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, it was amazing. Probably a lot like your vacation.
Yeah, a lot like it. Hey, did you you took a week off of work, right?
Like
to go work on that guy's cottage?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I had to book the holiday in like November of last year.
See, I'm a last minute traveler, Dave. I forget about summer vacations all the time. That's why I ended up going to Colorado, because we had looked at showing our kids the country. We wanted to bring them to Alberta, but it was so expensive that we just kept going down the Rockies until we could find something cheap, a cheap flight or whatever. And then we found one of those, and then a cheap old Airbnb at some ski loft, which is kind of off season for them. you know. And then turns out it's a really ritzy area that I should never be able to afford, but I got such a crazy deal on it that like we booked a lot of stuff on points too. So like I'm at places that like it's only like fancy rich people, and then like me, and I'm only talking to like the waiters and stuff, because like no one else is everyone else like lizard people, you know what I mean. But other than that, the views were beautiful. The views were unbelievable, and the climbing, the hiking, and the nature stuff, and all this. I love mountain life, you know, because it's low around here, and I'm Dutch. When we come from below sea level, you know, so we're not used to 12,000 feet.
Yeah,
it's hard to breathe, man.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you cannot smoke a joint and walk at the same time. Those are hard. You got to do one or the other. You can't do both. So I just sat down, found a picnic table. It was really nice. You know how much? You know, because weed's legal in Colorado. You know how many people I saw smoking weed? None. Just me. I'm the only one the whole time in the whole fucking state that smoked it. They have like all kinds of T-shirts, Colorado, pot tour, like tourists and all that stuff. And there's dispensaries on like every block. It's so easy to get weed, and I never seen one person smoking it. Everyone's still shamed and hiding under bridges and stuff like that. Like, I was doing it openly. Wherever they let you smoke cigarettes, I thought you could smoke weed because it didn't say you couldn't. So then I did that. Worked out okay for me.
The culture's waiting like to catch up with the law.
Yeah. You know what was good about this vacation? No injuries either.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like you got some sun though.
Yeah, a little bit of burn. I didn't use any. I don't think it's right to use sunscreen when you can see snow. You know?
Yeah.
Seems stupid.
You know what I noticed? The scar on your head is redder than anything else. It's like fresh skin there that's never seen the sun.
Is it red?
Oh, yeah.
Is it more Harry Potter? I think it just gets redder when it's around stupidity. It does oftentimes do that when Mike's not here. Oh shit! What was I going to say before that? We said we went to.
So I'm on the beach, right?
Right.
I'm on the beach with my kids.
We'll do we'll do quid pro quo.
There's this dude who's out there. These two guys, and they're drinking Bud Light. And the one good thing about Selkirk, I told my kids like the second we got there, there's no fucking rules in this place. You can do whatever you want. There's no cops. It's not like the beach where you gotta hide your drink and stuff. Like
that's a good thing, right?
These guys are drinking Bud Light, and they got a mountain of Bud Light cans beside them on the public beach. Like they've been drinking there all day. These two guys.
Now you're starting to make a case for Selkirk.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the one good thing. No rules in Selkirk. My kids really liked that. They didn't have to ask for anything. They just knew there was no rules.
They drink a lot of beer too, your kids?
They might have. I'm not sure.
You didn't care, right? You were so pissed.
I didn't care at all. They could do whatever they want. So this one guy tells me he's a welder, fitter, and he's got a cottage here, and he runs the beach.
Yeah.
And he tells me a story about how he drives to Hamilton, and looks like he's been on the beach a lot. He's really tanned. And then this other guy pulls up, and he's wearing a Toronto firefighter T-shirt, and this guy who's been drinking all day goes to talk to him, and I overhear his story. He tells him, and he's telling him how the firefighter's from Fisherville, and he says, I used to live in Fisherville, but I lost my house. My father-in-law took my house from me, my ex-father-in-law, so I had to move to L.A. The guy's like, L.A.? Oh, man, from Fisherville to L.A.? He's like, yeah, I'm a semi-pro fighter, 15 years.
So he just makes up stories and says...
Apparently, yeah. And he's like, it's okay, though. I got a condo and a Maserati down there in L.A. I'm like, this guy's whacked, right? So I'm like swimming with my kids and we're whatever, throwing the Frisbee around. And then as I'm walking off the beach, he goes, hey, you leaving Sunday? I'm like, yeah. If I come down here with a bottle of tequila tomorrow, you down?
That's awesome.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm here with my family, swimming. I don't know about the tequila on the beach. But,
so you said no?
Did you give him I left it open.
You left it open,
I left
right?
it open. Next day, go to the beach. He's there on the beach. He sees me come to the beach, reaches in his backpack. He's got a bottle of Jose Cuervo Gold. Hasn't even been cracked.
How many did you have with him?
Just one.
Really?
First swig. I wasn't going to drink out of it after he did. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I was at the airport in the smoking area before we came home. And I was smoking my last joint before we flew.
Outside of the airport?
They had like a fake outside in the airport with like fake grass, but you're on a balcony, and there was before you go through security, right?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so you can have a last cigarette or whatever. So I had a whatever. And then when I was smoking whatever, this guy obviously sniffed it out, and he comes over, starts hovering around me. And then he gets up the courage, and he goes like, hey, what kind of flower is that? You know? And I'm like, I don't know. It was like a pre-roll I bought or whatever. And he goes, and he starts like just asking questions about it. And so I give him I pass it to him, you know? And so he takes a haul off it, and then he goes, reaches in the garbage, you know, right to his like elbow, and he pulls out one of the tubes that a pre-roll comes in, and he goes, it was Purple Kush, it says, or whatever. And I go, that wasn't mine. Like that was, like I have mine in my pocket, you know. Eat his fish in the garbage. He goes, you'd be surprised how much you can get free pot and stuff you can get from airport garbages, because everybody just leaves them either beside the garbage or in the top of the garbage, because they throw it before they go through security. They'll throw their drugs out. So I hang out here and just collect free drugs before I go home, is what he was saying.
Real opportunist.
Yeah. And I said, you can have the rest of that joint there.
Well, that's good. Similar like stories where neither of us wanted to get hepatitis.
Yeah. I did drink a little bit out of the creek one day, and because I was doing a hike up this one mountain, and then it was a beautiful river, and it looked so inviting to drink. But I didn't really drink it because I wasn't sure, but I did like put it all over my face and then like touch it to my lips and taste it a little bit. And then the next day I was at this like under was it like a geothermal cave? You know, we went to this place called Glenwood Springs. You go to this geothermal cave. You go into it, and underneath the ground, there's these natural caves that are so hot they're like 120 degrees Fahrenheit and 100% humidity. And you're supposed to go in there, and all the chemicals and salts and shit that are in the mountains or whatever, they're supposed to be cleansing for you or whatever, right? But anyways, because I drank this water in the stream the day before, I think I got a parasite or something, and I was in quite a bit of like stomach discomfort. And then I went down in those caves, and then I just barfed everywhere. It was really gross.
Ew.
Yeah, took me a couple days to get over that one. I'm still not 100% over it.
They call that beaver fever.
Does it go away?
It does.
It just takes a while.
It's like
eh?
a stomach virus. You
Yeah.
get it from like, because there's like beaver dams, just they're all shitting in the river. There's like deer shitting in the river.
Yeah. Everything shits in the river, right?
Oh yeah, great place to shit.
Yeah. How's it look so clean though? That's the thing, eh? With all that shit in it.
It's inviting, eh?
Yeah, it's so inviting. It's like if you had a glass of water, you know, you're real thirsty and you're going on a hike and you're sweating and stuff, and all of a sudden you see a glass of water with ice in it, and it's all clean looking. But then the guy says, "Yeah, but that's everybody shits in that, right?" You still want to drink it though. That's what I did. Anyways, pooped a lot there, and then threw up at the place. Oh. Yeah, but I met a nice girl at the hot springs we went to right after that. She may or may not have been drunk and or crazy, but I enjoyed our conversation. Great, I even got a hug out of it. You know, that's why alcohol and marijuana are both good for making friends, eh? Because you got it through tequila, right? I through weed, but you'd still never have made that friend on the beach, right?
It's true.
Without those things. It's very nice. Eh?
Yeah.
You imagine being like straight edge, how do you make friends?
Yeah, I never would have even like talked to that guy.
Yeah, were you asking to play cards the next day or something? Did
No.
you play any cards?
No, I didn't.
What do you do to fill the days in Selkirk?
What did we do? We spent a lot of time on the beach. We did some puzzles on the ping pong table.
Yeah?
Yep. We watched some VHS movies because they had a VCR there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What movie do you remember?
We watched some doozies. We watched, what was the one that wasn't appropriate for the kids? Total Recall.
Oh, yeah.
The original.
Schwarzenegger, the girl with the 3 tits?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite. You know what was really cool? I've never seen this before. They had, when you drive down the lakeshore there, out in front of one of the cottages, they had a free library. It was like a little cupboard by the road. It looked real nice. It was painted nice, glass doors. It was full of books and VHS movies and DVDs. And you just take whatever you want and then make sure you bring it back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like take a book, leave a book kind of thing.
That's what you did on your vacation?
Just a community. Cool. Well, we needed some VHS tapes, so
Oh,
that's where we
yeah.
got Total Recall.
Smart, man. Yeah, you know what we did one time? We went up this gondola up the mountain that you could just kind of walk from our apartment. And we took one gondola down to another gondola, and then that gondola would take you like most of the way up the mountain. And then you get off there, and there was like a roller coaster on the top, and you could then sit in this roller coaster, and like it was you drive it yourself. It would be like you go forward to go fast, and then you could brake, you know. But once you get on the thing, it's just you in the cart or whatever, and it just takes you up the mountain. So you don't have anything to do for like 20 minutes while you're going up the mountain. You just sit there and watch. It's beautiful, right? And so you're going up, and then you go down, and they got you going through corkscrews and all this shit, right, to get down. But it was really cool. And the one time I remember I was getting a little, anxious, right? So I was like, and then they don't make you comfortable to smoke weed anywhere because they're all rich people, and they're all, with the kids and being nice, and everyone. They're openly boozed up. That's fine. But you'd made to feel like a criminal if you're smoking anything. So I'm like, where am I going to smoke a joint, to calm down? So then I did it on the roller coaster on the way up. It was the greatest. That was the most fun ride, especially like, even you get to. I wish I would have handed my. There's a guy at the top when you get to the very top, and he's like, "All right, hit it," and then he goes down. And then I wish I would have handed him my roach because I think he would have appreciated it. I hit it because I thought I would get in trouble. But then if I should have just handed it to that dude, he would have probably liked it.
I just picture you going super slow, like you think you're going really fast, but you got the brake like.
Yeah, my first time I went down there, the kids were jammed up behind me. Yeah, because I would every time there was around a curve, I would slow down like a car, But it was like, you're supposed to smoke the side of the rail because they built it so that it can go full speed, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it just scares the shit out of you when you do it. Yeah. Anyways, the second or third time, I was better at it. And
got your nerve up.
Yeah, and the joint helped on the way up there that time. And then from there, you can get on his chairlift and go to the very top of the mountain, which was about just 11,500 feet or something like that. Beautiful, beautiful up there. Me and my daughter decided to climb it, and then my wife and my other daughter took the chairlift up, and then we took the chairlift down. It seems like the chairlift itself, it seems like you're doing something that's incredibly scary. Like you can't even imagine that you're going to do this. It's ridiculous because you're so high up and there's nothing protecting you from falling out of the chair or whatever. And then about 2 seconds in, you just adjust, and you're like, oh, this is nothing. You just get used to it. Your body gets used to everything really quick. Like you first go into the mountains and you never see anything like it, and then all of a sudden you're just used to it. Like you can. It takes your breath away at first, and then you just become accustomed to it. I always find that to be weird, how quickly you can adjust to something like that, because it's so foreign to you, right?
There were no chairlifts or roller coasters in Selkirk.
There wasn't? They had a rock climbing wall there too, and they had like this really good farm to fork kitchen where they would the chefs were awesome. I was gonna order the trout.
Chefs.
Yeah, the chefs are really good. It was sweet, man. And you couldn't get a glass of wine there. You had to buy the whole bottle. So I guess I had to drink a whole fucking bottle. Yeah, it was great.
Jesus.
Anyway, Selkirk was good too.
You know what we had in Selkirk? Lots of windmills.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't look anywhere on the lakeshore without seeing a couple windmills.
Oh, those are.
And those are tall. Those are high.
Yeah. I could see a thunderstorm coming from it seemed like 2 states away, because the views are just the sky never ends, I bet you spent more on your vacation than me. I really hope we can figure it out after the show and find out you spent more than me on your vacation. And I wish you probably spent twice as much as me. Oh man, this is the best. Anyways, Charters, you work so much harder than me, and you have twice as many kids. You take on responsibilities that you don't even need to take on, and you get like a handful of weeks off a year, and that.
Yeah.
And you went to Halton.
You know what I did? I made the best of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends and family. It doesn't matter where you go.
That's right.
You got to spend some quality time with friends and family.
That was my mantra all week. At least I'm with you guys.
Yeah, because you asked us to come visit you in Selkirk, and we said, geez.
You looked it up on a map, you saw the county line, you're like, nope.
I don't have rubber boots. I'm sorry. Anyways.
A lot of standing water out there.
Yeah, a lot of standing water.
Just sits on top of the clay.
It gets a little smelly in the heat of the day, probably, eh? When it's just sitting there
Especially
stagnant
all those dead fish. At the
with all the dead fish. Oh, those poor fish. Their hopes and dreams are gone.
You know what, though?
Their best days are behind them, Dave.
I learned a lot. So
You take
that's
away
important.
everything they ever were and everything they ever could be when they die on the shore. Yeah? The unforgiven. Anyways, we all make different decisions. Does anyone here, the nocturnal emissions, before we go, this is the last thing before we go, does anyone here have a favorite memory, or I should ask the other three of you, because we haven't talked to did you go on a family vacation when you were a kid in a car? Have you gone on a road trip with your parents?
Yeah.
What was the best road trip with your parents? This is going to be to all three of you if you've ever done it. Have you been on a road trip with your parents, Brandon?
Yeah, we used to drive out to the East Coast every summer.
Oh, yeah, to the Maritimes?
Yeah, and they just drive straight through the night, switch turns.
And you guys just sleep in the back?
Yeah, no, I just play Game Boy the whole time.
Mm.
All the way through.
Now,
I didn't see anything.
the stuff that they made you do, would you enjoy it, or would you kind of trudge along
Oh,
begrudgingly?
yeah, I did. I like going out there.
Yeah.
There's time. Depends how old I was. When I was like becoming like 12 years old, I'm just like, I hate going on vacation with
Yeah.
my parents now.
And then you got a bit older, and then you started to see similarities between you and your parents?
Yeah, it's fun going on vacation with them.
Do you have the same interests as them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
They took me around. Like I travel a lot. I think they put that into me. They instilled that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I do stuff like that with my kids, because I want to give them know that there's something more than what you see, you know, like there's other ways to look at the world than what we see every day, you know. Selkirk's different too.
Yeah, my kids learned that for sure.
Steve, do you have a favorite one? I know you did a lot when you were a nomad when you first got you first had a kid, right?
Yeah.
Did you had the kid on the road?
Yeah, accidentally.
Like, are you conceived the kid on the road
conceived the child on the road?
with the person you were traveling with?
Yes.
You started the trip with that person, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
My wife and I left together.
She wasn't your wife then, though.
No.
She was your girlfriend, right?
Correct.
And then you impregnated her before you were married, right?
Correct.
And you were raised Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Dave, what does that mean? Hell, right?
Well,
HE double hockey sticks,
you got some
man.
work to do.
I'll get right on that.
Yeah, he's not. You're in with me, buddy.
Yep.
We are not. We're gonna stay warm like in that fucking cave.
Good enough.
You just gotta get a washcloth, put it in cold water, and breathe through the washcloth. That's how we'll get through it. Anyways, did you ever go on family vacation with your?
Yeah, I did a big one with my dad when I was about 13 or 14, and we went out west, and then
Drove it?
we drove it. So
Yeah.
we drove from here all the way out to Vancouver, and then down the coast, California, Hollywood,
Wow.
San Francisco, Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam.
How long did that take?
I don't know, like 6 weeks or something.
Like the whole summer?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that is a big one. That is really. And did you enjoy it, or was
Oh,
you
yeah, it was-
begrudgingly going through it?
It's the only time I was in Vegas.
Oh yeah, that's a sweet trip, man. But that's fucking a long drive, you know.
Yeah.
Who was in the car?
It was me and my dad and my two little stepsisters at the time who were like 3 and 5 or something like that.
And you're like 12, you said?
Yeah, 13 maybe.
Oh yeah. Did you? Well, that's a pretty sweet trip. What are you, Kev?
I don't think I've really driven any further than Montreal. Really.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And did you go on Did you go? We would always go to like Niagara Falls when we were kids, because you couldn't go in the summertime. You couldn't. We had to work on the farm, right? So if we got a rain in July, you'd get to drive to Niagara Falls, and we'd go to the water slides or something like that. And then we go to like this place. It was called Lou's Pete's Place or Lou's Diner. We'd go with my Uncle Ed and Aunt Joanne, and then and they would have surf and turf, $10.
Oh yeah.
Right? $10 for surf and turf, right? Lobster and steak. So the whole family got lobster. And it was in a real bad part of town.
Yeah.
Real bad part of town. My dad would say, lock your doors. We're going to Lou's place to get some cheap surf and turf. Oh, yeah. That was
Remember
good
that
times. But yeah, but that was all I remember from that, other than our trips to Florida when we would go down to, we'd go to Disney or whatever, you know. And you'd
We
go
went to
through-
Niagara Falls a lot too. My anytime anyone would visit from Poland, my mom would always bring them to Niagara Falls, see the falls, and we go to Marineland, get a bucket of chicken, eat it on the grass at Marineland.
Yeah.
It's like every summer.
Listen to Walter Ostanak.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
just polka time.
Do you know Walter Ostanak hates whales? Hates them.
He's the reason they closed that place down.
I think it's still open.
It might be open, but they're banned. You're not allowed to have whales anymore, right, in Canada.
No smart mammals. So no dolphins either. And
What about belugas? They're fucking
fuck no
stupid.
dolphins either. No
Belugas
no
are
belugas either. I mean, no belugas. They're smart too. You see those smiley bastards? I petted one. paid to do it.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I got my kid pictured just petting its head. You know what she said? She said it feels like Uncle Jeff. Because Jeff,
Like
he's
sandpaper?
bald. No, like a bald head. Like you ever feel Steve's head?
Nope.
Go feel it.
Nope.
Don't. It's sweaty. It's gross.
That's what Beluga's head feels like, just like that. So, but you can still have them there because they say everyone loves Marineland, eh?
That's what Marineland says.
Yeah, I heard it on TV. I hear it all the time that everyone loves it. But I'm like, I don't think everyone loves it. I think only a select people love it. And most people are kind of horrified the fact that you're like fucking doing that to the whales, right?
Yeah, why do their fins lay over sideways?
I saw a guy that I heard a guy on an interview, I think on Joe Rogan or something like that, and he took care of one of the walruses there, and then and that walrus wants to kill himself apparently because he hates it there so much. Yeah, that's sad stuff, Dave.
It is.
But everybody loves it apparently. Everybody. Can you just make a fucking claim like that, Marineland? That's a sweeping generalization. Anyways. This has been our show. If you'd like to, write it in with us and tell us about your favorite family vacation spot, because I think Dave can do better next year for his family.
Yeah, give me some ideas for next year.
Marineland.
But until next week, also Fight Stories. Remember Fight Stories. Give us a text if you want to see the show. It's next week. It's going to be a good one. And Live from the Dutch Hall after that, too. And if you'd like to give us feedback, you know how to do that. But until next week, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday.